Of course, you all know, first thing I must say is all praise to Yahweh, for He is the one who gave me breath and gave me the energy to say what I'm about to say. I love you all. If anyone watches this, I hope this gives you good vibes, and I hope that this helps you in some type of way. So, today, well, just right quick, really, because it won't be long, I want to talk about 3 steps to fixing our energy, you know? Because that's what a lot of people are talking about, but they're saying, you need crystals and all of this extra stuff. You need to be doing spirituality and all of this extra stuff to fix your energies or to align your energies. And I mean, if you feel that's true, to each his own. But for the ones who are feeling, well, I don't really feel that works for me, or I'm not so sure about that. Well, I'll tell you my 3 personal steps, which Yahweh revealed to me of how to fix your energy very simply. So the first step of how to fix your energy, the first step is to learn how to deal with your emotions. Whether you're an angry person, whether you're a person who gets sad all the time and cries, whether you're a person who is a very nonchalant person, like you stop caring real fast, all of these like energies and customs that we have, if you are a person who's like that, easily angered, easily, a person who's gonna get sad or cry, or easily a person who's like, oh, I don't care. These are not good things. These are not good spirits, and we got to get rid of them, right? So the first thing we have to do is understand these emotions. We have to understand them. So one way we can understand them is by knowing, firstly, the ancient people knew nothing about, well, firstly, I could just speak of the Aboriginals, especially, because these are my ancestors. So I just speak of my ancestors. A lot of us got to start speaking for ourselves. But my ancestors, it was no proof of anything that they had anything to do with emotions, say being sad, happy, mad, glad, you know, all the other emotions. They knew nothing about this. Just like animals, for example, just like animals. Now, we physically don't know what animals feel, right? We can't physically say if it's scared or if it's sad or if it's angry or if it's happy. Even if you might see a cow or a dog crying, you could say it's crying because it's sad, but you might not know. It could literally be crying because it's happy. I mean, we physically don't know. Same thing it could be for a bug. You could be saying, oh, it moved away from you because it was scared. Or it could have just moved away because it seen something, coming in its distance, and it was like, what's that? Let me move out of the way and see what's going on here. And that's why you might see flies a lot of times. They don't necessarily just fly away and leave. They'll still keep flying around the premises, because I just don't believe that they're scared. They're just not trying to get squashed, common sense. But that would be the same thing for, like I'm saying, these Aboriginals. And why do I say this? What would make me say that these people weren't going off of so-called emotions? Well, because emotions was literally introduced to us. So one thing that you all will soon learn is, if you speak English, almost everything you say is a deity, literally. From the days of the week to the planets to a lot of things, the holidays, a lot of things, almost everything that we say that is a big thing, it comes from like a deity, which is pretty crazy. So what we'll be going and looking up is the emotion deities. And you'll notice that it all comes from ancient Greece, or Greek, whatever you'd like to say, the Hellenic people. Emotions, deities. I'm sorry, y'all, I can't spell right now. Alright, so there's many of them. There's very many of them. But let me try to find the one I was on. Here it goes. But the one thing you must know, in ancient Greece, they were called daemons, or what we would now call today demons. Just like the word El, or Elohim, literally means Damien in ancient Greece, as I've already talked about multiple times, but I will be exposing this in the series that I have coming up. I have a lot of things that are coming, but I'm just right now I'm kind of trying to piece it all together again to put back out there so I don't get banned again, hopefully. So right here we'll be looking at, I'll show you guys what page we'll be looking at. Damians, spirits, what we call spirits. And I don't care whether you say Holy Spirit, bad spirit, angel spirit, demon spirit. This is what spirits were first depicted as. Whether you like to believe it or not, as I always say, just because you believe something is true does not mean it is. This is the origins of what we now have as religion. Just like the origins of what we now have today as emotions. Literally. So I want you all to go and look into these for yourselves. Look into these deities, because I'm not going to talk about them too much. That's not what we're here to talk about, really. We're just talking about fixing our energies. But like I was saying, the first step to knowing, of course, would be dealing with our emotions. So how could we deal with our emotions if we don't know, if we don't know what is the problem? What is the core of our emotions? So when you start to dig into those deities, just notice, if you know anything about them, or and then start to question, okay, so who are they today? And you'll notice, if you go do your own research on them and look up who they are today, the names for them today, you'll notice that we've still been talking about them and praising them and all of that today. So the first thing we got to do is stop praising them, right? We have to stop saying, oh, I'm mad, I'm sad, I'm angry. So how about this? When you feel that way, what you do is say, this is what I do. I say, man, listen, fix your energy. Fix your energy. Because one of my problems that I deal with is anger. I'll tell you guys straight up. One of my problems that I've dealt with my whole life was anger. But when I learned to tame that beast, when I learned that beast didn't have no control over me, right? I had to do what Naruto did, and I had to hug my beast. You see, I had to stop trying to fight him, and I had to do what Naruto did. I don't know if any of you have watched Naruto, but for those of you who have watched Naruto, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're going to have to hug, that beast that's inside of you so you can tame the big beast. Because you see, the first beast is just yourself, which is you dealing with your emotions, right? But the second beast, right, is actually dealing with your energy, learning how to control your energy, learning how to not be so angry so fast, learning how to not be so sad about everything so fast, learning how to not be so nonchalant so fast, still trying to listen. All right. So I feel like we've kind of elaborated on that enough. If you all would like for us to talk about that more, feel free to comment or whatever, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. We'll do a little bit more research, or prove a little bit more research about it if you all would like. Now, the second thing that we have to do, and it's very important, is beware of the people that you're around. Beware of the people that you are around. So the first thing, of course, is dealing with our own emotions. And the second thing is being aware of the people that we are around. Now, the reason why. First reason why is because most people don't know anything about dealing with their emotions. So while you're sitting here dealing with your emotions and growing and learning to cope and learning to love yourself and all of these things, others around you aren't going to be doing the same thing 9 times out of 10, right? And I literally say maybe one out of 100 people that you know might be on the same thing that you're on. So everyone else is going to be trying to get you to go backwards or the opposite direction of what you're trying to go, because they're not going to understand. They don't even understand themselves yet, So, and another main reason I say to be aware is not just because of their emotions, but also because of the relationships that you want to keep with people or not keep with people. Excuse me. If you if you really care about people, like say for instance, your mom, if you were to start telling your mom or your dad, you know, about things that you're learning, research wise, 9 times out of 10, they're not really going to want to listen to you because you're their kid. Not only because you're younger than them, but because you're their kid. And for some reason, our older generation feels they don't need to listen to the younger generation because they just don't know anything, But that's kind of crazy. But for that exact reason, your parent would not be a good person for you to specifically be trying to talk to or even give your energy to, because why? The conversation that you share between them is going to 9 times out of 10 be very nonchalant, very emotional. You might upset them, or they might upset you. Anything might happen in that case. And this is because simply they don't understand themselves. And you might think, well, how can they not understand themselves? These are my parents. Well, you got to understand, man, age does not have anything to do with growing up, right? What do I mean by that? Children, this is fact. This is why the show is called Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Children are way smarter than adults. What do I mean? This is crazy. Let me just give you one example of what I mean. All right, so children constantly know that they must grow, right? Now, adults, it's not a single adult that is alive that I know, I don't know about any of you, that is as tall as this tree, right? Or them trees back there, or this tree right here. It's not a single person that I know that's taller than these, right? People will have the nerve to say, I'm grown. How are you grown when this tree is 3 times your size and it is not grown? It's nowhere near grown. Think about that now. The child knows that the child must continue to grow. He or she must continue to grow, right? But us as adults say, we grown. As if we don't got to learn anymore, or as if we just got it all together and it's just nothing more. And I mean, how foolish is that? And it's very foolish. You know why it's very foolish? Because this is why, if any of you have brought your homework home to your parents, I want you all to think about this now. How many of you have brought your homework home to your parents and asked them for help, and they didn't even know what they were looking at? They didn't even know what they were looking at. So how grown are we then? How much do we really know? We can't even help our kids in school. We don't even know the indoctrination which is being put upon them because we don't know. We're just saying we do. Boy, Hosea 4 did not lie. My people die for a lack of knowledge. I say a lack of wisdom, though. And that's what's going on. And this is why I say it's very important to be aware of the people that you're around. This is your parents. Now, talk about your sister and brother. We can talk about your sister and brother, right? Or your girlfriend, boyfriend. Oh, girlfriend, boyfriend, that's the worst. Now, that's the worst. Because they're the most persuading, right? Your friends, the most persuading. Your friends are the most persuading. When you start to go in the right direction, in a different direction in them, and you don't want to do all the things that y'all used to do anymore, they're going to look at you different. And of course, they're going to want you to come back to the other side and come back. But this is why it's up for you to understand where you must go in life, right? Because you see, this is you aligning your energy and becoming one with the beast that is inside of you, because that's what it is. It's a monster, man. Real talk. From not being able to control your anger to not being able to control your horniness, all of that it ties in with that same beast. And when we can control that beast, when we can one up that beast, and when that beast is under us, this is when our lives will start to go better. This is when we can actually connect ourselves with Yahweh, and not only with Yahweh, but with one another and with nature, with everything. This is when we will be one. Seriously. When we can overcome all of these energies that we have going on, whether it be negative or too high vibrational energies. What I mean by too high, how can it be too high? Well, you got people that's out here thinking, they should be rolling over people. You need to calm down, my boy. You need to calm down. You don't need to roll over nobody. You need to worry about yourself. If you got kids, it ain't even necessarily to rule over your kids, but this is who you're literally over, And you can't even say, oh, if I have a wife, I'm over my wife, because that's crazy. My wife is my wife, right? Now, my wife is not my child, so I cannot tell my wife or force my wife to do anything. This is what I mean by figuring out our energies, because you see, if I say, all right, well, I'm doing research today, and I really want you to do research, and she chooses not to do research, she chooses to scroll on Snapchat all day, or, go on Marketplace, whatever, women, I can't sit here and force her to do that. Now, my child, on the other hand, if I tell my son or my daughter, hey, I want you to go in there and write me a how's your day going, or something, they're going to have to do that. They're going to need to do that, and otherwise, if not, they're going to be in trouble. Honey, what's up, family? What's up? Now, the thing here with just the energy, right, is saying my children. Of course, I can't get away from my children. I have to be with my children. Only a coward of a man won't be with his children. I'm sorry. And if you feel a type of way about that, then you shouldn't watch me, because if you don't take care of your kids, you're a coward to any man, right? But to say your wife, if she has bad energy, you don't have to be with her. Just like your mama, your friends, your brothers and sisters, you do not have to be around them. If you know that they are physically draining you or physically drawing you back, and this is to the ones who's trying to go forward in life, the ones who's actually trying to learn and grow, you don't need them. And the best thing that you can do is cut them off, because in time they'll learn. They'll learn why you didn't stick around, and then they'll want to grow, because then they'll be asking you, so how are you doing all of this now? What's been going on with you? You look so good now. And by that time, you still going to love them, of course, because love is always going to be there, but it'll be your choice if you want to allow yourself to be there with them again, them to be back in your life and whatnot. Because maybe by then they would have grown and understood where you're going in your journey. Now, number 3, fixing our energies. And this one, I have to say, is probably the most important to me. It's the most important to me. The third thing we must do to fix our energies is find something to do. What? That's important to you? Yes, it is very important. Find something positive to do. Positive. Don't go and release your dopamine stress by being nasty, right? That's not positive. It might feel good. The pleasure might feel good, but that's not necessarily positive, right? Don't go and release your anger by going and punching somebody. You might say, well, I was right for punching him. He deserved it. Well, and he calls the police on you. You go to jail. You ain't going to feel like you deserve that. So keep your hands to yourself. What you need to go do is, you got a video game, you got a cigarette, you got some gas, roll that gas up, my boy. Fire that gas up and sit your butt in the house, right? Turn the game on. You got books. If you into reading books, if you're not into reading, I don't care if it's the Bible. Read some books, right? Now, when you get mad or sad or, depressed, whatever, however you might feel, don't just go to Snapchat or Twitter or the internet, right? Because that's all that's meant for, is to depress you more and to put you back, keep you down, make you go further backwards. So if you do get on your phone, do something that's productive, like, research, or if you do watch some documentaries, do something positive, do something that's going to, like, boost you into a better mood, okay? Do something that's going to make you not necessarily forget about your problems, but do something that'll make you realize the importance of understanding and overcoming your problems. Because you see, a lot of us, when we face problems, we might come up against our anger, right? Just for example, our anger. And we get angry and we know we're not supposed to be getting angry. But we still can't control it, so we get so angry to the point that we go and fight our own brother. And hurt our own brother. Fight our own friends, hurt our own friends. You know what I'm saying? We take it to that far of the extreme, and now we're sitting here in jail for however long. When really it wasn't worth it. When really I should have just thought, played my cards. And that's what we say, you gotta play your cards right. This is the first thing I should have did. I should have thought, will this person wrong me? Depending on what he did now, of course. This person wronged me. Now it's the difference if you say someone's just talking crazy and you pull up on them and beat them up versus saying somebody put their hands on you. Now, I'm not telling you if somebody put their hands on you not to defend yourself. That's absolutely crazy. But I'm just saying to be so angry that we can just, off words, go shoot somebody's house. Go shoot somebody. This is what's going on right now. We shooting people, killing people. Specifically my own people. Right? Out of emotions, out of anger, out of very, very low energy. Feeling like it's no way out. This is where this third part comes into play. Because you see, the reason why our energies are so low, especially as so-called African Americans, is because we don't feel it's no way out. We don't really see, no way out of this thing. We've been forced into one way of thinking, one way of living. Forced into it. And that was a product of that. Us thinking like this now. So the first thing that we must really start doing as a collective, not just African Americans, but everyone in the world, so that everyone in the world can stop being so hateful to each other, so selfish towards each other, so grimy to each other, man. The first thing we got to do is all work on self and aligning our energy, dealing with that beast that's inside of us. Stop letting our beast overtake us. Whether it be a lust beast and you can't keep yourself together, you're bouncing around everywhere. For those who older, you know what I'm talking about, where we keeping it PG for the children. For those of you who cry about every single thing, everything somebody say to you, you just get so emotional. I can't believe you would say that. Believe it. People say and do crazy stuff all day. Believe it, okay? Don't let them get you down like that. That's what they supposed to do. They trying to get you like that, right? The ones who just don't care, please, care. In the long run, it'll matter, right? Right now, it might seem like, what should I care for? It doesn't really matter. In the long run, it's going to matter. Start caring about things more. The one who's always so quick to get angry. Catch yourself. That anger, the worst one. That anger and that lust beast, them the worst too, boy. Ooh, that anger, man, I'm telling you. Tear you down. I realized how bad anger was for me when I overcame it. When I finally overcame my anger, and now that I'm able to sit here and tell myself, well, if I do this, would it be pleasing to the Creator? The one who watched my every step. How would this affect him? How would this make him feel? If I do this, would it be helping my children? If I do this, would it be benefiting my family? Self-control. Right on the head. Self-control. People say self-control, and you might think you talking about like moderation from, not drinking alcohol today. But self-control goes so deep, man. Self-control goes so deep. For another example, I might want to go play the game, right? Now another part of me is telling me, now you know dang on well, you need to go out here and pick up this pseudepigrapha. You need to go pick this pseudepigrapha up. And you need to read and you need to grow, right? So you can teach. But I feel like playing the game, man. I feel like hopping on Warzone, man. Self-control is saying, all right, so how about this, self? We're gonna do a little bit of research first. And then after we done a few hours of research. And yes, I said hours, not minutes. And I know little shortcuts. After we done a few hours of research, then, we can go get on the game. Or if I just then did a bunch of research already, okay, I might get on the game today. But just saying, self-control would be saying, me telling myself, oh, well, you ain't did no research in 2 days. You better not go get on that game. You ain't made no video. Making a video to y'all, I'm gonna be completely honest, because I haven't been making videos and stuff. And like, I have multiple reasons why, but one reason why I just tell y'all is because of procrastination. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I'm just be completely honest with y'all always. And I just been dealing with a lot, considering I have a new baby, another one on the way. So yeah, I just been trying to get all that together. And on top of that, I've been trying to, like I said, piece the things together which I have coming for y'all, because it is a lot. And like with dealing with these energies, one main thing that we're going to be talking about, and I want y'all to keep this in mind, the angels. The angels. It don't matter which angel you talking about, Gabriel, Michael, Raphael, Uriel, it does not matter. If you know their name, they are a fallen angel. Factuals. But I'll just leave it at that, and we'll get into that later. I love y'all, man. Y'all have a blessed one. Like I said, learn how to control your energy.